and shows like Jubilee, where raw, unfiltered debates unfold. Christians clashing with Muslims, MAGA supporters turning on each other, liberals squaring off against far-left activists. One group stands out for its noticeable reluctance to step into the arena. Voices from within Zionist communities, especially the progressive wing. Conservative Zionists seem more willing to engage openly, but progressive ones often hold back. And this hesitation isn't primarily about defending Israel's security policies or hashing out two-state solutions. It runs deeper. The core issue is that many progressive Zionists enthusiastically embraced core elements of woke ideology. Identity-based hierarchies, intersectional frameworks, and narratives that frame power, privilege, and oppression in rigid, zero-sum terms. These same tools and tactics are now being turned against them with striking precision. The street-level intimidation, deplatforming, and moral purity spirals that Antifa and aligned activists deployed against MAGA figures. Campus moderates, or even journalists during the BLM era, have found a new target: Jewish institutions, events, and individuals supporting Israel's right to exist are facing boycotts, shoutdowns, and accusations of inherent complicity in settler-colonialism. It's a classic case of feeding an ideological pattern that doesn't stop at the intended boundaries. In complex systems, whether biological or social, signals and incentives that initially seem empowering can reprogram collective behavior in unexpected ways. Lower-level agents, individuals or subgroups, adopt local rules that feel righteous or advantageous in the moment. Allyship with every perceived marginalized group, prioritization of narrative over empirical trade-offs, reframing disagreement as violence. But these rules scale poorly. They create self-undermining dynamics where the very frameworks meant to protect the vulnerable begin devouring their own hosts when higher-level goals, like group survival, truth-seeking, or coherent ethics, conflict with the ideology's internal logic. Progressive Zionists, in particular, invested heavily in these patterns, assuming the coalition would hold because of shared progressive values. They downplayed or even amplified critiques that treated Jewish self-determination as uniquely suspect, while giving other national or indigenous movements a pass. Now the beast they help nourish, through institutional capture in academia, media, and activism, applies the same logic consistently. Jewish success, visibility, or defense of a homeland gets recast as privilege or oppression. The tactics feel familiar because they are. Selective outrage, guilt by association, and enforcement through social and professional ostracism. Organizations like the ADL and broader progressive Jewish networks spent years signaling alignment with these broader left-wing currents, often framing conservative pushback as the real threat. Few in those circles seem eager to publicly grapple with the question: why did amplifying certain narratives and tactics produce a backlash that now endangers your own community? It's easier to attribute rising incidents to right-wing extremism alone than to examine how ideological capture creates blind spots and invites predation. This isn't about refusing dialogue from the conservative side. Conservative-leaning Zionists have been more consistent in prioritizing classical liberal principles, individual rights, empirical reality, and the legitimacy of self-defense, over fashionable solidarity that demands self-erasure. They recognize that some patterns in human collectives behave like disruptive growths. They hijack normal cooperative mechanisms for their own replication, often at the expense of the larger organism's coherence and long-term viability. The lesson here is straightforward, and uncomfortable ideologies are not neutral tools. They are goal-directed systems that operate across scales. Once you embed incentives that reward victimhood competition, punish pattern recognition, especially when it involves your own group's history of resilience, and treat national self-preservation as immoral for one people but mandatory for others, you shouldn't be shocked when the logic turns inward. Societies and movements that maintain robust error correction, prioritizing evidence, multi-scale coherence, and the ability to update beliefs fare better than those that let one set of signals dominate unchecked. Progressive Zionists aren't uniquely villainous. They're a visible case study in a wider phenomenon playing out across institutions.
The reluctance to debate openly may stem from cognitive dissonance, the realization that the framework you championed now labels your own existence as problematic. True engagement would require admitting that some beasts, once fed, don't discriminate between their hands